Welcome to Coffee with Janis and Karen. Today we're going to be talking to Don Hodges of Hodges Farms, and it's kind of interesting. Karen and I came to love her Facebook page separately, and I actually had met her years ago. I don't even remember where it was, and got her cookbook, and we've made her recipes and they're delicious, and I was so interested in her back then. And Karen has been following her cooking page for a while, so we're going to visit with her and ask her a few questions. So Dawn, where did you get your love for cooking?
Well, when I was a child, I used to go to my aunt's farm. It was in Waller. Their name was Wallerowski. She used to tell that when she was a little kid, she had to wear a little sign that had spelled her name out for her because she was a hard time to learn how to spell her name. But we would go to the farm and we'd spend the weekends, and Aunt Mary would cook, and we had homemade bread. We had, of course, vegetables. They had a garden. What's better than fresh vegetables?
Yeah.
And I'm sure all the meat was theirs. I don't remember that a whole lot because they raised hogs and stuff. So I'm sure we had their own meat. And she worked so hard. She had a little bonnet on and a little feed sack dress, which I have one of them. I asked for one from my aunt when she passed away. And my mother cooked just because she had to feed us. She never loved it. I always loved it. Nobody ever taught me really how to cook. I just started doing it.
Okay.
And going to Aunt Mary's, that was the inspiration. And because of that, I always wanted to live in the country. And God, in His precious love for me, we moved to the country a year after we got married. We've been here 50 years in this house.
Wow. What a neat house it is, too. Do you do your own decorating?
Oh, yes. I'm an antique dealer.
Okay.
And God gave us, this part that we're in right now is 1865. It was up at Kenny. It was John Wesley Kenny's daughter's house that she built at the end of the Civil War. And he had passed away, and he was an early settler in Austin County, and he was a Methodist minister, too. But anyway, she built the house. And it's a little nicer than most houses. It's bigger. As you can tell, these rooms are big.
Yeah.
Because they had I believe, this is just me thinking, they owned a sawmill. So anyway, we moved this in 1976.
Okay.
And then the other little cabin outside, we got it in the 80s. And then recently we added a cabin on to this house too. So.
Well, so your passion for cooking just came from
I love to eat too.
Yeah.
You know, girls, we all love to eat. So it just, it's just something I think God put in me is cooking, and I love to cook for other people.
Oh. Karen and I've tried a couple of your recipes. So out on our, what did you fix, Karen?
I did the mac and cheese.
Okay.
And it was really good.
We did the hamburger steaks.
Yes.
Yeah, those were delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, so good. So, what would be your message to future generations if you could give them a message?
Well, at my age, you got lots of things you want to tell people, right? The youth of today have no idea what it took to make this country. How many people died for this country?
Yeah.
We need to remember our history, not destroy it, and to grow from it. You know, and I think, we've all grown. Look at what we have now. We never had before. And including the internet and all that kind of thing. But what's important is to remember where you came from. Try to learn everything you can about your family and about history.
Well, I wanted to ask you if there's anything, which you've done so many things, but if there was anything like your passion, what would it be? A toughie?
It's a toughie because I just feel like I've got everything anybody could want. I mean, I have property. I have, to me, cattle and chickens and all that kind of stuff. Horses, dogs, cats, all that kind of stuff's important. I'm not on poverty row. I'm able to support myself. And really, this fat, I just look fat over.
Yeah, I'd like for people to know
That's what you
that.
want people to know.
When
Okay.
we first started doing these, I was not very good at it. And I was nervous, and we were just doing it for Facebook, and
Uh-huh.
oh my God, I was trying to hold my stomach in, and and made sure I had makeup on. And see, my hands are horrible from years of being beat up,
Working
and now it's gone. I don't worry about that because
Yeah.
they can't see all the dust.
right.
They don't. I don't leave things out that I don't want them to see. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would want to say. I'm going blank. Just to cook at home. It's I try to say how much everything costs when I cook.
Yeah.
And
That would be good.
You would
Yeah.
be surprised. Well, and I'd like to mention that I'm on the TikTok thing. Facebook
Yes.
pays you nothing, but TikTok does pay you a penny every now and then.
Okay.
Things. It's unbelievable what people comment about. That we can get. Well, we can't now. It's $4.39 a pound at Danny's at the meat market.
Mm-hmm.
He was a little kid. We used to go over here in Hickory Creek and pick him up and let him ride our horses. And look at him now. Hamburger meat was like $4 a pound when I made that, and I said that, and they said, people commented, "Oh, lady, are you crazy? That's $15 worth of meat out here." Well, it's not
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
anyway, I just want people to start cooking, growing things. I try to show my gardens, and I want them to just be, you can grow something. If you have a yard, you can grow something.
I need to learn from your ways.
Well, it's not hard. You stick it in the ground and fertilize it and water it, and it grows. And when
Okay.
you get something, it tastes so good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard to go out and eat because it just doesn't taste.
It's not the
You
same.
know,
Yeah.
I don't mind paying for it. It's not the. I'll pay good if it's good, but it's
Yeah, it's not
But
the
you
same
just
as
and it's
fresh.
so much cheaper to eat at home.
Mhm.
So much cheaper,
Mhm.
and your family will appreciate it.
Right.
They'll be just thrilled.
Yeah.
Mama cooked a really good meal.
Well, and I feel a sense of pride
Yes.
when I fix a
Yes.
good meal for my family. There's just something in me that I'm like, my daughter's home right now recovering from surgery, and I fixed her a big old pot of soup yesterday, and her
I had
favorite. And
soup yesterday
I just
too.
felt, I don't know. It's just something about it.
It's something. It's a God thing.
Yeah.
God puts things in us. We all think we're in charge of everything, and we're not. God
No.
puts things in you,
Yeah.
and His steps. He says your steps are numbered, and He knows exactly where we're going. I ask Him every day to
Direct
put my
them.
steps in the right place,
Yes.
because it's so easy to get off track.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
Yeah. So we were talking about Dawn is on TikTok, and so I was just asking her, how do you do that? Because we kind of know about it, but I don't really have any idea how that works. So
Well, I know nothing about it. My daughter, my daughter that's modern,
yeah,
I
techie.
do know how to get on it because she sent me an email with it, and I just get on it.
Uh-huh.
And we only did that kind of as a fluke. When she said, "Let's put these on TikTok," I said, "Amy, that's dancing and kids stuff.
Right.
You would be surprised. There's a lot of stuff on TikTok that's not like that."
Okay.
So we started doing it, and we immediately had a lot of. First, it was just for a minute because you couldn't go very long, and it's hard to cook in a minute.
Yes.
And so, as we got more people, we can do 3-minute segments. So we try to do just 3 minutes. Like I did gravy the other night because I was cooking, and I hadn't done a couple because I'd been at my antique show. So we did gravy, and we did that in 3 minutes. But there's very few things you can do in 3 minutes.
Right.
So sometimes we try not to have more than 2 segments because they won't look at it. They'll look at the first one and comment, "Well, this cake doesn't have any raspberries in it." And we say part 2, part 2, part 2.
Gotcha.
So we try to do it in 2 segments, and we've had over 10 million views, and I have like
Amazing.
170,000 followers. Never thought anything like that, but it's such a good way to show people the way we live. They say things like, "How does it? Show me a picture of asparagus or pickles growing." I forget that people don't know that. If you live in the city, you don't know that.
Yeah.
And the response has been wonderful. I get to talk about God a little bit. I get to show them what real fresh food is like. And I try to tell them how much it cost each time too.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also see them on Facebook, Hodges Farm Country Antiques,
Mm-hmm.
or there are a few on YouTube, but not very many.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, you were talking about how so many people eat out and don't ever eat at home anymore, and how much cheaper it really is to cook at home.
even compared to like hamburgers, if
Right,
I mean,
right.
you go get hamburgers for a family of 4, and everybody gets some fries and a drink, and you don't even have a dessert. You
Right.
can cook so much for that same amount of money.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and have dessert.
And have dessert, which is Karen's favorite.
Yeah.
You
Mine
always
too.
leave room
Yeah.
for cheesecake,
Mine
she
Mine
says.
too. Oh, I love cheesecake. Oh, don't talk about food.
But I had a question
Yeah.
about, I was watching a pickle recipe that you were doing, and you put muscadine leaves in it, and it blew my mind. So
Well, they have a natural alum in it, and you can eat that pickle the very next day, and it is
What?
crispy. On TikTok, we have a 1.5-minute video. Everybody kept saying, I want to see what they look like when they're through. And we had Caden and his friend Caden taste them. They didn't want to, but they did. And they went crunch down on those pickles, and they'd been made the day before.
Wow.
So it's what makes them crispy. And of all the pickles I do, because I do a regular garlic deal that's like canned, and I do bread and butter and stuff, that's the one everyone wants. And it's so simple.
We
You
need
can
to
use
try
your
that.
bigger cucumbers. Don't buy cucumbers at the store unless you buy the little pickling ones. But I think over 2 million people on TikTok looked at that.
If people
blows
want to
my
know how to
mind.
make pickles. And
Yes, and they
Oh.
did them,
Yeah.
and then they put them on their little sites and said, look, you know, they got passed all over the country, which is wonderful, which is why I'm doing it.
Yes,
yeah, muscadine leaves are everywhere around here.
Here they are,
Yeah.
and you know, a lot of people, I was telling you, a girl from Austin said, I can't find the grape leaves, and she put it on Facebook and found them in 2 seconds because people have them in their
Someone
yards. I'm sure up north they don't, because we have people from everywhere, Finland, Canada, a lot up in the north, watching the TikToks. But it's been real fun. It's not about me, it's about a lifestyle and about food and about God. I always mention God.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank you, Dawn, for
You're
letting us
welcome.
come today and visit
Thank
with
you.
you.
Thank you.
Get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you.
Mhm.
You were as awesome as we thought.
Yep.